Hey, there we go.
It's one of
Zinks
those.
in. There's you're live, and they're laughing at us. So
Excellent.
Maybe
Yeah,
our-
I guess it's
It's
official
only a
then.
small delay. Come on. It's not that big a deal.
Yeah.
Greetings, everybody. We are back again, sitting around at our own houses on our own phones, coming at you live.
Because that's the thing we do.
Yep.
all of what he just said.
Still with the whole health emergency state of the world going on, so that is why we're doing this game until we can get back together and resume our regular programming for y'all. And today,
And as you can see, the first question off of my Instagram post, Nigel and Dennis did make it out of the forest in time because we're here.
Yep.
Barely.
Barely. Yeah.
And yeah, because me and Dennis were out in the forest, I had a nice big fixed blade and some machetes for my EDC, so I'm just gonna randomly grab this guy to show off as my
Out of curiosity, what was your main fixed blade today?
my Bravo,
Nice.
It's not the wrong answer.
the Bark River.
And being out in the woods, carry a big ass fixed blade. I actually have mine sitting here. It's the Cold Steel Trailmaster.
Nice.
It's been used as abused, as you can see. There's lots of
It's
wear
been
on
fun,
it.
to work
for
today.
sure.
It's a nice
So-
knife.
And again, no change today. It would definitely put in some work and did me proud. So
That's it. What you got there, Joe?
Went with the traditional today. Little pruner hawkbill from GEC from their Northwoods line. They have a proper name for it. I can't quite remember, but it's fun. That
I love the
1095.
fact that
Oh.
even for your slip jointy knives, it's still got a hawkbill. It's still
Oh yeah.
Weird.
just got something.
Of all
yeah,
those,
the only guy
yeah.
of the four of us that has a black talon, right? Like it's
Of course. Well, hey, my other slip joint that I was carrying over the last couple days was a Tonto, so
There you go. Tactical.
And
if you're gonna
Joe starts
blaspheme,
off the episode already giving two answers.
Yep.
No. This is the carry for today. This was just to illustrate the dumb shit I choose to carry.
Sure.
Yeah.
And then I was actually working today, which
Shocker.
yeah. And I decided to carry this, my Benchmade Anthem. It's been a minute. It's a good little knife.
Good choice.
Want to jump in real quick and just say what's up to Will to Survive and Kiefer 225948.
Good day.
What's going on, guys? I think. No, I'm wrong. Never mind.
I'll take your word for it.
Yep.
I'll put it under advisement for sure.
No one questioned that any further. Yeah.
I mean,
Of course not.
you can, but
Too
doesn't
late.
mean you
You've gone too
can
far.
that's it.
I also carried a Swiss Army knife today in the woods, for the record.
How
Just
many
because.
fingers did you cut off with it?
No fingers. Lots of cheese. Lots of cheese. Oh
I
my
believe it.
goodness.
It's a good
Probably
cheese
too much.
knife. I'll give it that.
Yeah, it's mainly a food knife because I have so many other knives that it's pretty much just dedicated to cutting food prep and stuff. And I use a lot of the other tools
What would
in
you
there, whether
what would you
can
com-
openers.
what would you compare the blade steel on a Swiss Army knife to? Is it anywhere near something like a 12C, or is it even less edge holding?
It might be a 12C. It might be a 12C that's soft.
I was gonna say like a 4, but that just might be the hater in me.
Yeah, it might be 4116, something like that type of thing. Whatever it is, it's not a hard steel. It dulls really good, but whatever.
Probably.
If all you're using it on is food, it's fine, right?
I was
So-
gonna say
yeah.
cheese isn't gonna dull it.
Well, some of the stuff, yeah.
You're eating the wrong cheese, Joe. You're eating the wrong cheese.
I'm not going to deny that.
So where do we want to start today?
I don't know.
We've got options. So
Scary.
What are the options
can
for
go.
us?
We got questions we can answer. We've got toys to play with.
Let's show off a couple toys.
Yeah.
Let's show off.
Let's start off there. All right. I'm gonna start off right off the hop with a Spyderco option. Shockingly, in fact, these are all Spyderco options, and S45 PM2. I don't know if I'm getting. Can you even see?
No pattern. No.
No.
Pattern.
No.
That's my favorite part about that knife. Like the texture on that thing is just wow.
Yeah, no. Hold on one sec.
Do you have a?
I was getting blowout before.
I can just see Paul getting sucked out the window like Star Wars right there when he goes, woo!
That's it.
Oh, here.
You can kind of see it now.
Yeah.
Here, Paul, say some stuff. And hold it
Say
up
some
in front.
stuff?
Yeah, say stuff. Say stuff and hold it in front of the camera.
So you're the highlighted one?
Okay, things and stuff. I am saying things right now. It's S45 and forest green G10. It's very pretty.
A little hard to
Good.
make out, but there is some. There is some.
There we go.
There we go.
That's great.
That's a good
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then Paul's face ruined it.
Actually, we shot right to Nigel's face for some reason after that.
Because I made noise.
Right.
But yeah, the texture on it is kind of like it's woven and got like a very fabric sort of textile feel to it.
That's
And
cool.
it's just, it's very pleasing.
That's so much cooler than this or
Yep.
the flat texturing you get on that. Or, I don't know, any other flat G10 handled knife that isn't smooth.
Hmm.
I was going to say that it feels like it has just as much texture as the standard print that they normally do on their PM2s.
Really?
As far as
But it
like
doesn't-
grip in hand.
Yeah, but it doesn't feel like it will tear up your pocket in the same way.
That's nice.
It feels like it'll be more gentle.
I had the thought that they've used forest green for other things in the past. And they did call this one, I believe, a forest green. But I wonder if they're trying to get away on a technicality by doing the extra milling in the handle and being like, but
It's
it's
a
a different
Yeah.
forest green. It's a
It's
fancy.
S45.
Yeah,
Man, just be happy this isn't an exclusive to Blade HQ. All right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's true.
It could very easily have been.
Which,
But I mean, they use their colors all the time to signify different steels. They don't like to repeat. They come out with all
For-
sorts of.
for factory standard stuff, right?
I'll
Like,
give you that. Yeah.
yeah.
They do like to use burnt orange, though.
Rex 45.
Yeah.
It's because it's been the last 2 years they've come up with a handful of models with Rex
Mhm.
45, right? They did a baseline last year with the Delicas and the Enduros.
You could get H1 stuff that was in that burnt orange as well. Could you not?
There was
H1?
Rescue Orange H1 stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
Some of the fixed blade had, like the rock salt had a Rescue Orange, like it looked like the Delica Orange.
it was like this orange. Like, it was
Yeah,
almost
right.
neon. Yeah.
Because I had like a bright Delica. I just remember there being something out there that had a burnt orange to it. I might be on glue. Who knows?
Could be.
Glue
Very
could be
likely.
involved.
What kind of glue?
Elmer's.
There you go.
Super.
I'm just
As long
eating
as,
it
it's
by the-
not, as long as it's not crazy, right?
Oh,
You'd be crazy.
is this the point where I say that I had a friend in elementary school that liked to eat paste?
Had a friend.
Elementary school.
Is that a double bird? I feel like that's a double bird.
That's what it is.
Double bird. Apparently Zinx EDC likes the paramilitary too, which is not the wrong answer at all. It's a good knife.
No.
We had another one in the same kind of size range as that, but it's not green. And it's the Siren.
Yeah.
What do you think about that, Joe?
I want to hold it.
Yeah.
But apparently, I do like that.
detailing.
Nice blue liners. They pop really nice.
Yeah, if you can get it in the right light.
I'll make you.
If you don't, there you go. can see the blue there ish.
Yeah, that's cool. I still want one.
So
I
there's
don't
one
hate it.
thing-
I don't hate it.
There's one thing that I didn't realize until today when I picked this up. If you compare it to the PM2, and you look at the spider on it and everything else, it's all dark. It's all dark marks, like a laser mark. It's like extra shiny on the LC200 or on the Siren. Like even the signature on the back, it's shiny. It's not dark.
Interesting.
You know why that is? You know why?
No,
That
no,
is going to be less deeper etching for something to corrode into. That surface is going to be, because they did have things like the Spidey Chef, I believe, in Pete Cedric Canada's video when he did them in the things of water. The only place that had some tarnish is where the Spyderco was etched.
Right.
Okay.
So maybe what they're trying to do on that is the lighter etching, or even the metallic surface, whatever it is, isn't as deep. So probably is a flatter surface and won't develop.
But is that really an issue with the LC210?
Eh,
Yeah, I could understand that on other knives for sure, and even the H1 series, but for how stain
Spidey-
resistant that is.
a Spidey Chef is LC200 now.
Oh yeah. Fair enough.
It just
So-
maybe wasn't something they recognized could be a potential thing until they had enough go through the doors. I don't know.
Hmm.
well, that's
Yeah.
it.
Well,
Either way,
mean-
I like the way that looks.
It doesn't
dig
look bad. Yeah.
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 It's like you're still branding your knife, but it's not as intrusive as it would be otherwise. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
It's billboarding, and Spyderco is not really bad for it compared to some other folks.
No.
But billboarding can get kind of bad sometimes on knives, you know?
Oh yeah.
Benchmade and Spyderco are both pretty good for the amount of information they put on their blades. But
Well,
Kershaw
also
and ZT come to mind when you get a bunch of serial numbers and model numbers, and then the designer's
That's
name.
surprising. It's surprising, Joe, that you didn't call out CRKT.
Oh,
Because
well.
Bill.
Yeah, they can billboard pretty badly too. I was gonna say I do have a.
Just a quick aside,
Giant-
what's going on given PNW? What's up?
Hey.
Giant designer's name on one side, giant CRKT on the other side, giant CRKT down the clip. IKBS,
Yeah,
field
this-
strip.
this one's got a lot
it
of
at
crap.
the same time too.
Yeah.
I was
So-
thinking of. See, this isn't that bad in where it's put, and it's pretty small, but just the amount of information they cram into there,
Mhm.
it's a bit much. Logo's not bad, but
But ZT is bad for putting a logo on the blade and then on the clip and then, on the spine or something
Yeah.
random.
and I get that.
I think the clip is the one that a lot of people complain about because it is what's out of your pocket. So
Yeah.
anytime there's billboarding like that, you are kind of announcing that I am carrying a knife. And sometimes you may not want to announce that you're carrying a knife, right? So
It's kind of funny because
That's it.
the only CRKT I have right here is the only knife near me that doesn't have a logo on the clip. Yeah, ZT and Spyderco. But see, I like minimalist clips like this. I like when there's nothing on it. It's just nice, simple.
It's one of the things that I.
you could put that clip on your anthem there. Oh,
There you go.
Nah,
Don't be hating.
single
I'm
screw.
leaving.
Oh, it's a single.
It would just.
Yeah.
No, it was your 450 that we were talking about. Sorry, earlier.
I'm keeping the dick clip on my anthem. Thank you very much. It's not going away. It's a
terrible.
little ween hanging out of my pocket.
Little ween.
I don't like
I've
that.
said it, I've said it
No,
before.
you
It's ribbed for your pleasure.
There you go. And then to kind of round things out with Spyderco, we went a little big, just as big as I could get with the Spyderco stuff, and came in with this and K390, and can I actually get the color there? Almost had it. Oh, Yeah,
Not showing
kinda.
a bit.
There we go.
Yeah, nice blue.
It's like an interesting teal blue. It reminds me of 1992. That probably doesn't make any sense to anybody except for me, but
I'm not
there
going
was
to
a lot
fight
of
you on it.
cars. There was lots of cars back in the day that were like this aquamarine green,
Actually,
Cavalier, things like that.
come to think of
Need
it,
for
my
Speed.
dad had an
Need for
old.
Speed, like the first Need for Speed. Yeah, it must have had some cars with that color. Yeah.
Totally.
My dad had an old Riviera that was almost actually quite like that color. Beast
Yeah,
of
I
a
was
car.
saying to Nigel that my mom had a Cavalier in this color, and
Mhm.
her wedding dress, I think, the year later was in this exact same color too. Like,
Nice.
yeah,
So K390, one of those steels that people have kind of formed a cult following around, and naturally has kind of gotten my interest peaked. So that's a standard part of Spartaco's lineup now, is the K390 with the teal handles. It's not this is sort of like their S110V stuff in that they're just making it now.
yeah,
Or at least, yeah.
yeah, it doesn't seem to be a sprint run, and it's not a. What's the other one? It's not a sprint. It's a
Flash batch.
Flash batch.
flash bash. Yeah. Those words that came out of my mouth were not the words that came out of your mouth, for the record.
They were still words though, so you know.
Just only barely.
And I mean, the Ladybug is a cute little knife to have K390 in, but I think it's going to perform better on the bigger platforms, the Delicas and the Enduras,
Yeah.
Of course.
rather than a keychain knife. Like,
I can't believe that I can actually get 3 fingers on this knife, though.
Yeah, just imagine Nigel just
Yeah,
ultimate pinch grip.
maybe a 2-finger.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, it's a small little keychain knife, no clip on it. Just kind of throw it in your like watch pocket or change pocket on your jeans and head out the door. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm going to assume, based off of this little packet in the K390 box, that K390 is not exactly rust-proof.
Not really. No,
Yeah.
not really at all.
yeah.
It's using
It's,
a long way my fingerprints.
It's kind of like M4 in that it's got that crazy good edge retention, but you're paying for that in that it will oxidize. Not maybe as bad as something like 1095, but I've heard of people saying it does stain pretty easily.
Okay.
It's a it's a tool steel. You got to take care of it if you don't want it to patina and rust.
Apparently, my goal in life is to buy dragonflies and do patinas on them. So
I'm curious to see
I'm
what
still
shades.
really excited for the K390 dragonfly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the dragonfly in particular is. I like that platform.
Yeah.
It's cute.
I was talking to a customer today. We were basically both saying that there's nobody out there saying bad things about the dragonfly. People like it. They may not say anything, but there's nobody out there just lamenting about how terrible that knife is. It's just a good
I
all
can't
around.
believe I can't pry with this thin as shit VG10 blade. It sucks. It sucks so bad.
Well,
It makes
you
me
can
so
pry with
annoyed.
it. You can pry
I
with
just
it like
want-
you can pry the stamp off of an envelope or
No,
something like
you can
that.
even
Like
pry the
you can
envelope
pry.
open.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're horrible. You're horrible.
You know you like it.
I want an 1.5-inch long blade that I can use like a crowbar. Damn it.
Okay, so what you're saying is you want a 3V dragonfly.
Does anybody
No.
really want a 3V dragonfly? Isn't that the same problem we ran into with the fucking the Benchmade that I'm drawing a blank on now? You said the name earlier.
Oh, of course.
Bailout,
Bailout.
right? Yeah.
It's got less blade to bend, so.
So what would you say to a dragonfly fixed blade as a neck knife in 3V?
Ooh. I'd probably take that.
That'd be silly.
I like
I'm
the
a
idea of a
smart man.
dragonfly fixed blade.
Yeah. I think maybe make the blade slightly longer to compensate, but
Don't you dare ruin a dragonfly.
Oh, I just mean like a quarter inch, man. I don't mean like a...
So you dare.
Did I say how much? No, I said don't fucking ruin a dragonfly.
Can we Warncliffe it, but not Spyderco's Warncliffe? Because the way they do it is always bad.
We'd have to get rid of the hole. Unless you're okay with a Cobra hood. Like, basically just have that gone. Just have it look terrible.
They could do like Emerson and do an Emerson Dragonfly where even his fixed blades have the hook for no reason. You know.
It's a blade catch. Come on.
With the pterodactyl for his emblem.
Oh,
and he flips them out a little bit.
That sounds stupid familiar, but I can't remember a name to go along with
He's on the gram. Somebody out there knows what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Pterodactyl.
Apparently there was an M4 or 4V little native ones, according to Given PNW.
Well, M4, I'm pretty sure they did the JG10 Blade HQ.
Oh, yeah. They tend to like to do that.
I could be wrong. It could have came somewhere else. But yeah, and what was the other one? For a steel?
4V.
4V?
But they said M4 or 4V. They were...
Oh, okay. Like, if there was a 4V little native, that's just weird as hell.
Yeah.
Zinx EDC is saying here that he had to carry a dragonfly for an entire month because of an Instagram challenge, which I don't think would be that hard for me because I carry 5 knives in my pocket. So one of them is the dragonfly. Okay.
Oh, I guess I'm carrying 6.
There you go.
I do.
That one goes in the watch pocket.
Pretty much.
It fits. I've carried it there before.
So after a month, I want to know, like, what did you think?
Verdict.
That's a good question. Yeah, straight up. Zinx, what do you think? Were you happy to get something else back in your pocket? Or
I mean, something that you could get like a full grip on, I imagine after a month would probably be pretty satisfying.
I can get all 4 fingers
That's
out
what
of
she
dragonfly.
That's also what she said, but
God damn it, Nigel. And see, it's funny because Nigel is the one I think who carries the tiniest knives the most often. Like, he's got the little he's got the little Kusta in his pocket that he normally has. The small,
there's the little
I love the
sprint run with Initiation.
I love that design.
Even the Spyderco Toad. I mean, that thing's tiny.
That was the next one I was going to pull out.
Such a wee little box cutter.
It is probably one of the weirdest knives that I own, and so odd for my style and anything else in my collection, but I have grown to really like this little thing.
It's a cool, silly little thing, that's for sure.
Yep.
Given PNW says that St. Nick's did a 4V DLC coated with red scales dragonfly.
They did.
They looked it up.
Very cool.
4Vs.
And,
thank you for doing that. But yeah, St. Nick's, as soon as he said it, I was like, yeah, you bet they did.
And Zinx is saying that the dragonfly was too small for him. So maybe he's got Nigel mitts.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I do like the idea of a dragonfly fixed blade, though. I think that should happen for a neck knife.
Yeah.
That really, as soon as you said it, that's a fantastic idea. Leave the dimensions alone.
Yeah, fair enough. Fine. Where the hell? Yeah.
Would you want it with the FRN, or would you want something else?
FRN scales for a neck knife? I'm okay with that. I would be happier with G10, obviously, but
yeah.
Depends on the price point on what Spyderco wants to offer. Because sometimes their small fixed blades get a little bit silly in price, right? So
they can.
Good question: would it have the regular sized like thumb opening hole, or would it be the small fixed blade knife hole? Because that would look weird on a dragonfly, I think.
If they minimize it, I would like that. I like it. I'm okay with it.
What if they use the hole as part of the sheath retention, though?
Well, yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah,
that's.
But then I think minimizing it too much means you're not going to get that functionality out of it. But
no,
you could.
If you think of like, what was that big 4V beast they have? You know what I'm talking about?
No.
Spyderco's big 4B.
Province?
Yeah.
The big
like-
fixed blade Bowie?
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
it's called the Province.
that one.
The
That one's got
Province
the
was
same
4V?
like the hole that I'm thinking of.
You bet it
Even
was.
their throwing knives have
Right,
the same
right.
size that I'm thinking of. It would be big enough that you could get some Kydex to form into that spot.
Mhm.
They just screwed up and heat treated the 4V prior to drilling the hole, and they're like, we can't put a bigger hole. Do you know how hard 4V is? Jesus.
Oh,
Don't they laser cut their holes? Wasn't that a big thing that Spyderco laser cut all their holes?
I can see on their folders, but when you're talking
Yeah.
about something that's like,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
at least with the Damascus ones, because I know that they sold the holes, like the Damascus holes, out of like the Delicas and Enduras for a while.
That's kind of cool, actually.
Yeah.
I love that.
It's
It's like
you could buy,
selling.
like a baggie of holes or
It's like
something,
selling donut holes, but much more expensive.
yeah.
Zinx here is saying that he's happy to be carrying his PM2 and fixed blades again, which I don't blame him.
Yeah.
If I couldn't carry anything except for my Dragonfly, I would feel very light in the pocket for an entire month. I'd be confused.
Like,
Mhm.
what's
Normally, I
the?
could just reach
Okay.
out whichever pocket I touch. There's a knife
Where's-
there.
What's the biggest tack flashlight I have? So at least I've just got something to feel like. Just compensate for not carrying a bigger knife.
Yeah.
Zinx is saying to skeletonize the Dragonfly for the neck knife, which wouldn't be a terrible idea. But you still want to. You don't want to cheap light.
Is Zula it? Where you have micarta handles or G10 handles available, but you can buy it skeletonized if you want to.
Yeah.
If it was skeletonized, you could do like a micro paracord wrap on it.
That'd be a fiddly as hell, but sure, why not?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
with the fancy patterns that you can get
Can I
in some
pay
of that
somebody else to do
microcord,
What's that?
Said, can I
The
pay
fence.
somebody else to do it?
no. I was just saying the fancy patterns that you can get in microcord, you could make
Mhm.
that thing extra blingy as
Yeah.
far as a dragonfly. Yeah.
Also, given PNW is saying the Dragonfly would have both holes, both the large and the small, and that is not the right answer. That's awful. That's,
You know, we dabbled on double hole in Spyderco's last week, and I don't know if we want to call it double hole in, but that's too late. I've already said it.
You said it. You
Yeah.
can't take it back. I wish you
but
could.
I like where your head's at. I like where your head's at, man.
it's funny. Zing's actually saying that he hasn't touched his Dragonfly since that 1 month challenge, which I don't blame him.
He hated it so much. Oh no.
Take it some time away.
See, the thing is, a blade that thin is going to be super slicey, super performance-oriented, but it's just so damn short. Like, the smallest Spyderco that I think I carry on a regular basis has got to be, like, the Cali 3. And I can't see myself enjoying a much smaller, or rather, a much shorter cutting edge than that for, like, a regular EDC.
Mhm.
I think if they threw something out like an S90, it would fall into the same category as my manly knives, where it's so thin and slicey behind the edge that you could just put a working edge on it and just have it as a secondary little knife to pop out for small stuff.
Yeah, that's
And it
exactly where I think it would do
all
well.
day. Yeah, for sure. And my manly knives has proved that comes in super handy sometimes to have, where you just
Oh,
want
yeah.
to cut something small, but the edge just, yeah,
Well,
on
then-
S90 goes super thin, and I really love it, right? So
Right, and that's kind of the reason why I would carry a small slip joint on occasion, because the super thin blade stock usually means that, yeah, cutting performance is great, but none of the slip joints I have S90. I think more companies need to jump on that boat. Super thin, slicey grinds with ridiculously wear-resistant steels.
But
And
even
reasonable prices.
But even
yeah.
traditional don't go super thin. Like I've got like my round head because of how lion steel, because of how thin the blade is this
Traditional,
way,
though,
because
right?
of how thin the bevel is this way. No, just the blade.
Tallness. You're talking about the tallness?
The tallness of
Yeah.
Jesus, and compared to the spine, this thing is not particularly slicey. I reprofiled it to help
No.
compensate. Same with a Benchmade proper. Not necessarily the sliciest thing in the world.
No.
I just just got rid of the secondary bevel completely and mirror polished the shit out of it. You
Nice.
can see Joe.
Yeah. Oh, there's
And there's
Nice.
parts of Paul, but yeah. Anyway,
Only parts.
Uh-oh. But I mean, like, a more traditionally built slip joint is going to be a lot thinner. Like, that's pretty thin blade stock to begin
Yeah,
with. Even ignoring this chamfer, like, look how thin that gets towards the tip. That's stupid.
and there is my GECs in particular. They know how to grind a blade really, really nicely on the GEC or even the Queen cutlery, because I think yours is a Queen, isn't it?
No, this one's GEC.
Is it as well? Okay.
I think. It says GEC.
I was gonna say GEC makes some nice slicey blades.
They sure do.
For sure.
I've heard it said from a number of people now, and the more I become familiar with GEC, I have to agree. They're probably like upper tier as far as modern production for traditional patterns. Just the fit and finish seems to be great across the board, but without overdoing it and going into things like G10 handles and stuff like that.
I gave one of these. I've got the Cody Model 72. And I mean, rivets are not necessarily the nicest or the flush. Definitely some rock in every direction.
Really?
Fair enough.
So, but Northwoods, I'll give them credit where credit is due. I think their price points are way more inflated. Pardon me, but
yeah,
I do believe that their fit and finish blows a GEC out of the water.
Well, GEC produces Northwoods, don't they? Isn't Northwoods just like a not a brand name, but like an offshoot?
I don't think so. No.
I'm gonna have to look that up, but yeah.
I know Northwoods is Escanaba because they're directly related to like Knife Shifts Free and Bark River and blah blah blah. Because I know that Paul's Northwoods comes from Escanaba. Your box had it, right? Like it was Michigan where it was made, right? So
Mackinac.
Yeah. So I don't know if there's a direct correlation with their folders or they're fixed or if they're just outsourcing their fixed, but
I was going to say, I genuinely thought that GEC was producing the Northwoods folders and or Bark River was doing their fixed blades.
According to this random thread I found, that's the case. Yeah.
This random thread that I found.
Yeah. Well, nobody's calling him on it, so
it must be.
Yeah. So some of Northwoods are made by Queen and some are made by GEC. At least as of 2014, that was the case. So GEC
Queen went under and then came back. So who knows if that's still the case?
Who knows? So GEC is capable, or has in the past been capable, of making some really nice slip joints with good fit and finish, but your mileage may vary. Apparently,
yeah, I was gonna say mine's really nice and well built.
Regardless of what I like slag about GEC, because I do have the Cody, my favorite traditional that I have is the Farm and Field,
right?
The double blade with the day glow scales.
That's such a cool little knife.
Out of every single traditional that I have, this thing is still with the little hooky blade and the whatever, right? So
I want one with the that clipped off, like almost like razor blade style.
That one's the one I enjoy carrying more than any other traditional I have out of my collection, hands down. So
I think that's the most unique one out of your collection too, as far as oddball stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I do like oddball stuff. I like some things that everyone's like, "What the hell, dude?" Like it's So.
You've got some great taste in knives, and then sometimes. Given P&W's got a good point here that I kind of disagree with a little bit, saying that why carry that Dragonfly when you can carry a Chaparral or a mini bug out? And you get more blade for about the same size handle and everything else with both of those options. But
with the Chaparral, at least, especially with the finger choil up there, I get a 4-finger handle.
Yeah.
But that's not a watch pocket knife.
No.
It's a little big for that.
Well, and the thing for me, too, is there's something inherently...
What was another option? Sorry? The Chaparral or the...
Mini bug out.
Mini bug out, okay.
And what I was getting on is that I tend to lean towards larger pocket knives in general. I like the 452 Sinkovich, and like I have a 909, and I got a bunch of things that are kind of in the 3 3/4 inch to 4-inch kind of range. But there's something super satisfying about taking a Dragonfly and just doing work with that little knife and just seeing how much work that little thing can do. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like taking out the toad and slicing up
Yeah.
cardboard boxes about or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's probably part of why I like this little guy. Is it's such a nice little workhorse.
Yeah, it's something enjoyable when you take a little blade like that and you're impressed by how much work it can do.
Hmm.
And I do think that it falls like the mini bug out is kind of an in between the Chaparral and the Dragonfly, I think, in my opinion. But it falls into this just like slightly next step up the scale with the Chaparral, or maybe a mini bug out. I haven't actually played with the mini bug out enough because I was bummed it wasn't fat and chubby like I wanted it to be. But the Chaparral, at least, I think that fits into like you can get away with a primary knife, whereas I think all of us personally think of a Dragonfly almost like a backup secondary.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
None of us work in an office setting where I think a Dragonfly might excel. It's a great little thin backup, but yeah.
And
I think-
that's usually when I carry it. Is I carry it as a secondary knife. I'll carry something, 3.5 inch, and then carry a little guy, or carry something particularly large that day. I've carried the Spartan and my Dragonfly and done most of the work with my Dragonfly and just had the Spartan because it's a fun knife that's fun to play with
Ridiculous.
sometimes.
Spartan is
Now,
fun.
one of the arguments might be something in a shorts environment.
Yeah.
And then the Dragonfly, the mini bug out especially, the Chaparral, maybe the lightweight version of the Chaparral.
Yep.
With the XHP you can get away with. I'm not a big fan of the color of the XHP on the scale on the XHP Chaparral.
That's the
Kind of like
gray, right?
Yeah, kind of a gray, kind of a purple, kind of a blue. Like it's kind of just
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah. It's got a weird tone to it.
Yeah, it's kind of sludgy
Yeah.
for the tone.
And the mini bug outs, I'm still not sold on them, but I did see one. I think I mentioned it last week with the Aramis scales with the mini bug out carbon fiber, and it was pretty sick. So
I can
I
see.
can see bling in a mini bug out and rocking that in Gene's pocket for sure. So
Yep.
That's fair.
Yeah.
I did sharpen some S30 over the weekend.
Some S30, you say?
I haven't sharpened some S30 in a long time because I've far exceeded an S30 as far as my level of EDC-ness goes, for the most part, at least. It's so easy. It was so easy. Oh my goodness.
It's not something you're going to hear people say very often. But
I
yeah.
was gonna say, when you think about the fact that S35 only exists because people were bitching about sharpening and chippiness or whatever of S30.
And that's, man, the whole chippiness thing about S30 kind of honestly rubs me the wrong way really badly. I mean, when it was a new steel on the market, like you could go back even today and look at online arguments about how chippy it was, and there would be some photo evidence at the time. But now you just see guys parroting this crap, and it's like, what the hell are you using your knife for? Exactly.
I might not necessarily say chippiness, but I will say stability behind the edge, I believe, is lower with S30 than it is with other steels.
Right.
So
well, especially if you're comparing.
Pushing the boundaries of blade geometry. I think you can start to get into rolling edges a little too easy, maybe chipping out edges a little too easy, things like that. So I think if you're trying to push S30 on what it can do, I don't think it's as stable and reliable as some other steels out there.
And what do you consider pushing? Because I've used my smock pretty heavily, right? And it's got a very thin section of steel right behind the edge, and it does hollow out pretty well. I haven't had any stability problems with hollow ground S30.
My own personal experience is actually on the Contigo that I posted this morning, not knowing this conversation was going to come up. The S30, I wanted to push it because I thought the Contigo was a little bit thick. I wanted it a little thinner behind the edge for some feather sticking and some light duty work and stuff like that.
Right.
But I did still plan on doing some batoning with it too. And I don't think I pushed it with the batoning, but I did do some batoning with the fixed bladed Contigo and made some kidling and stuff like that, and had severely rolled edges, not even through knots or anything like that. And so I think the combination of pushing the angle of that edge between some impact, some definitely the impact resistance more than the abrasion or whatever it may be. I think that's where I'm personally getting my own stability issues with S30.
Yeah, I could buy that.
Put it on an Osborne where it's wedgy and thin enough blade and whatever type of thing, it'll probably take it like a champ, right? But
20 degree standard edge versus whatever nonsense you put onto it, like a 12 degree angle.
It wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
13, give him a break.
13 maybe.
Yeah. There you go. But
I just want to catch up on a few comments here real quick if I can.
Yeah.
Will to Survive says embrace the S30, which
says what? Sorry.
Embrace the S30.
Embrace.
Given
let me tell you, holy.
Given PNW says that both the lightweight chaparral and the mini bug out can fit in his fifth pocket. He carries them.
I was just playing around with that myself, and I can get it would be just as much was sticking out as if it had the pocket clip on sort of thing.
Okay.
But I've still got that much sticking out of my fifth pocket, and it pokes.
I will say I have said some
American pockets.
Right.
But I think most of the clothing that we get up here is from American companies. So
yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I've carried this guy in the fifth pocket occasionally in work jeans, like more heavy duty stuff.
You're a monster.
Yeah, actually, the one that really shocked me. This was back when I was working warehouse, but
this knife is what you're talking about. It's delicate-sized, for goddamn sakes.
But you know what's worse than this was the Benchmade 300, the ball flipper. That thing.
In your fifth pocket?
It fit it comfortably, no less, in the fifth pocket.
Ow. No.
Fit.
No. Like complete insertion, nothing hanging out, and it was actually comfortable to wear. But again, work jeans. That's the only time.
It was so tight that when you pulled it out of your pocket, the fucking flipper waved itself as it came out. It's
a feature, man. It's a feature.
I'm just saying, you can get some big knives in those pockets.
Yeah. Apparently, you have big American pockets as well, bud.
I don't. All right.
Zing CDC is saying that he just ordered the SE Zancudo.
Yep.
Nice. Okay.
Nice.
Yeah, I've been intrigued by that guy.
Yeah. I'm really curious how their S35 is going to run. Because I know that their 1095 is a little bit on the softer side of things. So I'm curious. I'm really curious as to how they perform with S35.
It'll be interesting. S35 seems to be one of those divisive steels where a company can either do it really well or really poorly. And it seems like more and more often now we're seeing companies getting it right, which is encouraging. But it took a while to get to this point. And now I think we're going to see similar things with, what is it, S45, the newest one?
Can we talk quickly just for a little bit about the new Meat Crafter? Because
I'm going to suggest that in a little bit because I just noticed the time and we're getting on to the 45 minutes here. So I was going to pose if we wanted to have a little break and refresh and drinks and stuff like that.
For sure.
I want to talk about some S45 too. Speaking of edge stability. So
that's exactly what I want to talk about. Before we run off for a drink, though, I just got to say, given PNW is saying that S30 is the new 8CR, and it definitely feels like that in the knife community, that people are just like, S30, it's garbage.
Yeah, it's become so common in like the base steel that everyone's using sort of thing.
I have a comment, but I'll wait until we come back for it. So
sounds good, guys.
All right, so yeah, we'll have a quick little break here and refreshing our drinks and whatnot, and we will be back shortly with y'all.
We don't need